What's going on, guys? Dury here. Welcome to the pad. I'm going to show you some new ways to open up your hips, hamstrings, glutes. We've been talking about this the last little while, and this is important because so many of us get tight when we're sitting and we're not opening this area up, and it causes a lot of issues and a lot of pain. So I'm going to show you how to use this good old stretchy band, okay, to open things up. This is not like one of those resistance bands you use to work out. This is an actual like heavy duty stretch band. As you can tell, I'm putting a lot of weight into this and it can handle that. So you can find these on Amazon. Most fitness stores will have them as well now. So first what we're going to do is we're going to open up the hip flexors. So we're going to wrap that around the upper thigh, okay, and I'm going to sit back, get a nice stretch here. And what's happening here, it's a couple things. Right now, the band wants to snap back, okay? So that's pulling a lot, and that's gonna open up the anterior capsule in my hips. That's also gonna open up space to really release that hip flexor. While I'm doing this, I'm also squeezing my left glute. Core's engaged, torso's tall. I can just hang out here, or I can start doing some interesting stuff. So first off, I can sit back here, it's a little more chill, and I can come through, and it becomes a bit of a nerve floss. And I'm a big believer in dynamic movements, open things up. So if you want to just kind of floss yourself through this, you can just do this, back and forth, nice and easy. Keep that glute squeezed, and this is going to open up that hip, okay? That's step one. Now, the other thing you can do is you can go back into a lunge and open this up even further. This is a bit more challenging. So here, I'm in a nice lunge, nice and tall, and then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to drop the back knee, boom, back up. Drop the back knee, boom, back up. And that's going to open up that hip flexor, okay? So do that about 10 times. Not only are your legs going to be burning as a little workout, but instantly you open up this huge space in those hips. Really, really nice. Okay, how about the backside? Hamstrings. Okay, I'm going to show you a really cool stretch here. So we're going to wrap the band around the top of the thigh, okay? So again, top of the thigh, the band wants to snap me back. So it's gonna really get that femur stuck into that ball and socket joint and stabilize that whole area, which is great. So from here, I'm gonna come out I'll show you a couple of different angles here. So I'm gonna come out as far as I comfortably can. My leg is bent, okay? And I'm just gonna keep my back flat, bend forward, bent leg, and now I straighten it up. Contract the quad to relax the hamstring, and now the band is pulling back to give it extra little support in that hip area. I can also just kind of collapse forward and just open up some of that fascia through the back posterior chain, and I can go through a couple different kind of dynamic contraction or flex and extension, okay? Ideally, you want to keep the back flat as you're going through this, but you can play around with it, okay? You can go from side to side, you can round out the back, let it hang out. So from the side, we're looking at slight flexion, extension, flex, extend, flex, extend, okay? Right through there. As it gets a little bit easier, you can go further out. You can even hold onto a chair if you need to here, and then just work through that. Okay, so you want to give yourself a good amount of time on each leg. If you're going to hold the position, give it a good 30 seconds to a minute minimum, and just build that up over time. Okay, how about those glutes? Darn glutes. Okay, so here what we're going to do is we're going to do a dynamic type of pigeon. So pigeon is from yoga. I'm just going to shift this mat around a little bit. Speaking of yoga, and this is going to feel really good. So we're going to take the band, we're going to loop it through the upper thigh, closest to the anchor here. I'm going to come right out, and the tendency here is for the band to want to snap me back. I'm going to anchor my foot in, like so. I'm going to sit right back, and now I'm just going to work through this. Whew. So this is pretty good, pretty good indeed. So I'm gonna just let it go, bring it back in, work it through. You can stand up on all fours if you like. Just work through it. So you want to find that point of tension where you're getting a good amount of action coming through mobility-wise in the hips. Right? So I'm just working through it. The band wants to pull that capsule out. Again, a nice stretch in that piriformis and those glutes. A really nice action going on there. You can also work through from this kind of position where you're just nice and easy back and forth, working through it. Okay, I'm going to show you one more, which is going to go a little bit deeper into opening up the groins, because one of the things we want to practice is being able to sit in a squat in a healthy position. So if my feet are about shoulder width apart, I should be able to sit right down like so with the knees outside my shoulders, okay? Now, a lot of us have a tough time doing this, and this is actually a good practice just to sit here, to just get used to sitting in this position, to open up some of those areas that are pretty inflexible. So for instance, ankle, right? Ankle mobility, if you have a tough time doing deeper squats, even some deadlifts, ankle mobility can be an issue. So you want to just kind of sit into this. And if you're having a tough time doing this, just hold on to something in front of you, okay? Stand up nice and tall. Just get used to sitting in this position. So one of the things that a lot of people have a challenge with is that they can't really open up their hips properly. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take this up. Again, up here, we're going to go into a nice extended lunge. And I'm going to open this up a little bit on an angle. We're going to get right into the groin. And I'm going to sit nice and low. Again, the tendency here is for the band to want to pull me out. I can stay here. I can go out here to really open this up. I can come right across over to here. I can wrap my hand around and go nice and low. And the idea here is you can play with the band, maybe get it a little bit closer to the knee to get a bit more of a pull in that area and really open up that groin. Okay, I'm going to come out a little bit more to get more of a stretch here. And this is just a stellar amount of activation here through my hip and my groin. So just getting really used to getting yourself into these positions where you can open up your hips through various ranges of motion. And this stretchy band, nice heavy duty band, is a great way to help you do that. So, yeah, there you go. Those are a couple ways you can open up your hamstrings, hip flexors, glutes. You're gonna feel a lot better after doing this. I do these pretty much every day. Pretty simple, as you can tell. I have it wrapped around my dining room table. There you go. Give it a shot. Let me know your comments or suggestions in the comments. And the link for the blog post is below the video. I'll see you in the next one.